Thanks for joining us. The Minnesota Supreme Court ruled this week that the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad is not entitled to a new trial.
The case involves the deaths of 4 young people who were killed in a car-train collision back in September of 2003. The accident happened at the Ferry Street crossing in Anoka, and over the past several years, the families and the railroad have been entangled in a legal battle that now looks like it's come to an end. CTN's Stephanie Ring reports.
Reversed.
Really?
Cheers and jubilation combined with tears of joy and sorrow filled Denise and Dave Shannon's home Wednesday. The Shannons, along with Beth Chase, lost their children, Bridget and Corey, to a car-train collision back in September of 2003. Ever since, these families, along with the families of Brian Frazier and Harry Rhodes Jr., also killed in the crash, have fought a legal battle to get to the truth about what happened that fateful night.
We know we did right by the kids. That's what this was all about.
Back in 2008, a jury awarded the families nearly $22 million and found the railroad 90% at fault for the accident, concluding the lights and warning signals were not working at the time of the crash. The railroad appealed the jury's decision to the Minnesota Court of Appeals, which ruled the railroad should get a new trial because of a faulty jury instruction. The families appealed that decision to the state Supreme Court, and the verdict this week states the jury instructions did not affect the fairness or integrity of the trial.
Having this confirmed by our Minnesota Supreme Court that this tragedy was not the result of any negligence on the part of their children. It was the railroad's negligence. They feel very pleased with that.
To have lost a child is to have lost part of yourself.
For Beth Chase and her family of Coon Rapids, along with all of the families, the Supreme Court's decision this week serves as a form of vindication and justice for their children. And they hope the public has become more aware of the dangers that can lurk at railroad crossings.
You absolutely have to proceed with caution at each and every one, every time, for your sake and your family's sake and your vehicles.
This was all about understanding what happened that night, and if there was safety concerns at that crossing, to fix them so no other family had to go through what we did.
Stephanie Ring, CTN News.
It's uncertain if the railroad will try and appeal the decision to the U.S. Supreme Court, but according to a statement this week, it looks unlikely. BNSF states, quote, "We have deep sympathy for the families of the individuals involved in this tragic event and are sad for their loss. While we are disappointed with the Supreme Court's decision, we respect the judicial process and the finality of the decision." End quote. An annual event that carries on the memory of one of the victims of the accident is coming up next weekend. The 9th annual Corey Chase basketball tournament will take place Saturday, April 7th at Blaine High School. It starts at 9 a.m. and features teams of 3 players. If you'd like to take part, call 763-221-0096. The money raised goes to student scholarships.